Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for November 6th, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Having a reverse aging health call Friday, tomorrow night, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position, no outside distraction, relaxed into your body, still as a statue and focused on your breath, rising and falling. One thing that many of us, since we're under the influence of the ego mind, is the creative process is a process of surrender, not control. Cue the camera. Many of us created certain emotional and psychic shields. None of us are exempt from that. We do that as kids, as children, in order to basically survive our childhood in most cases. Now, they were necessary at that time to protect us and keep us safe. Yet, as we move into adulthood, and these barriers are still up, they are blocking us from feeling love, compassion, intimacy with others. And these walls are also stopping us from manifesting true financial freedom, abundance, and even profound health to our lives. Now, in the event you feel stuck in relationships with others, money, or yourself in any way, it's because your brilliant light is still hiding behind one of these, or maybe more, of these old, heavy, unnecessary shields. Now, you may ask, aren't there some situations where it's good to protect myself? Well, it all depends on how spiritually advanced you are and what lessons you're still needing to learn. If you know you are an infinite being that will never, ever die, then what is there to defend? It's a good question, isn't it? That which is real cannot be harmed. So why protect it? You're the God in that body. You are not the body. Yet if you're still healing wounds inside the ego and creating an identity that needs certain boundaries, then it will feel blatantly obvious there is something that needs protection. Now, you may need to be as strong as a mountain to stand up for your rights in order to one day let them go. At 99.99% of the time, you are not surrounded by angry, hungry tigers, and this defense mechanism is just an old unconscious habit blocking you from total liberation. The need to defend yourself is what actually makes your ego appear real. Now, we know that the ego, however, is like our shadow. And I've used this analogy many times. It's that picture a bunch of people on a sunny day, right? And they're all running around protecting their shadow from getting touched by sunlight. That would be a spectacle. But that's what it's like. So any type of defending that we do is just coming from a place of fear, insecurity, and weakness. Defensivelessness is about doing no harm on any level to any being. It is truly living from a place of peace with all beings and will only manifest peaceful situations. This is, believe it or not, this is where the civilization is moving. Okay? This civilization, believe it or not, is inherently benevolent. Now, it appears on the surface, okay, that it's the opposite. That's very aggressive, destructive, so on and so forth. But when you realize the information that's been circulated amongst this civilization, this particular species on this planet for eons, and you start to put two and two together and realize that it's conditioning that makes us appear super aggressive, destructive, violent, those types of things. And in actuality, it's what we have learned, okay, and what we have assimilated into our lives that we follow. So you could say that, you know, it's like this blaming game thing. Well, is it your fault? Is it not your fault? Is it my fault? Is it not my fault? Da, 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 da. But when we really dig into it and realize is that we've been conditioned to be a certain way. And some of us, though, have kind of, you know, we left that bunch. And we've decided to teach ourselves by viewing others. Okay? When you see anger, aggressiveness, destruction, it really is love under pressure. What it is. Now, most people would say, well, that's kind of crazy. You know, why would someone go out and do all this destruction? It's just love under pressure. Because they've never really learned what love is. They never learned it. And they've never learned that they're not the body, they're the God in the body. They're the pure consciousness. They're the kingdom of God. They're heaven on earth. But what we've been taught's the opposite. Okay? And when you realize that there's, and I call storytellers, we should, just the old-fashioned storytellers, where information is passed down generation after generation so that the new generation learns from the old generation. And so on and so forth. We don't have that in our civilization. We used to, but we don't anymore. We depend on the high technologies and stuff to take care of all that. And unfortunately, those running the high technologies in most cases really don't care to have us know anything about that. And what do? I mean, you know, you've got these newborn baby bodies. You have these gods that enter them to experience physical material life, learn, manifest, and onward. And like I have said many times, we're an empty vessel. We really don't have, because we have amnesia, because we don't remember our past lives, right? So we come in, and what do we have? We don't really. We rely on what? We rely on others to give us information to get us going, and then from that point forward, we assimilate other information from others. That's what we do. And then we put together, we by about the age of 7, we have gained our personality and character. And that's usually done by what? Well, in the body, there is the ego mind. So we inherit the ego mind in the body when we enter the body. Okay? We don't know that. We don't have no clue what an ego mind is. You ask a 2-year-old what an ego mind is, they'll look at it with a blank stare. Okay? And so throughout the life, we are continually assimilating information that we choose. Sometimes we don't know it subconsciously, that we take this stuff in. And then we practice it. We do it. And this is one of the main reasons why we as a civilization repeat things throughout the ages. Okay? because the information is just recycled. It really doesn't change much. It's just recycled. And the people who gave you that information, it's not their fault. They were given that information. See? And so that cycle it's a continual, it's like a merry-go-round. Right? And merry-go-round goes so fast you aren't going to step off. You stay on it. And it's going so fast you can't even see what's outside of the merry-go-round. Everything's a blur. So you stay in the merry-go-round. And it's not like we do it on purpose. It's like a knee-jerk response. You know, it's like we have the conflict, World War I, right? World Conflict I, World Conflict II, all these other conflicts on the planet. And we don't shift, okay, because the ego mind it feels it's in control. And it directs. And there will come a time on this planet, and not the distant future, but near future, where the civilization will manage itself. Okay? Now, it'll do that only after a few generations have been taught from the beginning who and what they are. And at that point, they can then step off the merry-go-round. Merry-go-round is slow enough where they'll step off of it, and they won't look back. Whenever any of us get upset or triggered by others, right? And none of us are exempt from that because we all have through this life so far. Do this simple technique. Okay? Become like a flute that is hollow and light. And allow your breath to flow through you and your triggered feelings. Who knows, their negative words may start to sound like music to your new ears. Even if you are in a long-term relationship and have been hearing sour notes for years, simply allow that song to play on through. Breathe into it, through it. Let your body feel it and eventually release it. So you make the choice right now to never protect or defend your ego. You say to yourself, wait a minute, time out. Whom am I defending? Interesting question. What shadow self is there? And is this aspect real or imaginary? The more you investigate what needs to be defended, the more you realize these are only small, helpless, powerless voices from your past. Maybe the same voice your parents or brothers and sisters had. If you need to, then feel this need to defend these shadow parts and then let it go. The greater your defense is, the more suffering enters your body, and you'll soon be forced to let go. Because you are playing into that which is not real. And this universe will not let you buy into this defensive energy for very long, because the imaginary always moves to the real. It's easier to see the deeper lessons that this life is teaching you once you become an unobstructed channel of awareness. The more you can let down your defenses, the more receptive you can become to the abundance and divine power all around you and inside you. The truth is that there is really no reason to be guarded at all. Who you truly are can never be hurt by the outer world. It is only the ego self that believes it can be harmed, hurt, and destroyed. The timeless infinite consciousness that you are cannot be touched by anyone or anything ever. As an eternal radiant being, we are impervious to attacks from the outer world. Now don't get the body confused with the God that you are. Okay? The eternal radiant being is the God within the body. And that God is impervious to attacks from the outer world. And this infinite beingness has never been harmed by vicious words or energy. All negative energy passes right through without touching the beauty of your timeless consciousness. And as you awaken more and more and more to this realization, you will automatically notice the silliness and uselessness of holding any walls up with anyone. And these walls block the love from flowing between you. Once you see this, you will naturally take these walls down and let the brilliant light of your infinite nature shine through. Something you might want to do for, let's say, a week, 7 days. Be unguarded. Practice it with everyone, everywhere you go. Do not try to defend your point of view or protect yourself from other people's opinions, judgments, or verbal attacks. Simply practice accepting and releasing whatever comes your way. Have compassion for others. Decide to be a powerful and unlimited source of lightness, no matter what kind of energy is being sent your direction. Do not take anything personally. Remember one thing. Your ego is not real. Reside in what is real by surrendering to what is deepest inside. The God that you are. All of us are. At the core of our innermost being. Whatever unwanted messages this universe sends us, welcome them and return to resting in this spiritual source inside. Where are you resting? You're resting in the God that you are. Play with creating a new unguarded way of accepting yourself and others in each moment. Allow everyone to have their own unique experience without judgment, and look for the deep eternal love in all of your interactions with them. I've had the question asked many times, if we're so deeply interconnected to one another, why is there so much dissension and separation? Well, there truly is no separation from me and you. Really isn't. What is there? Limiting ideas in the mind come between us. The only thing is pure energy and consciousness that pervades everything and everyone. When enough people realize this experience of oneness, we will begin living from our most enlightened state of being. This is when we will manifest true world peace. That's it. All it takes. You figure on this planet we've got, 9 billion maybe. Okay. Maybe less, maybe more. Do you get 1 out of every 9 people on the planet? And that would start a trend that will literally take over the rest of the population. It's just a matter of time before we are all living a higher consciousness. That's what's really happening. At first, it seems like, the majority of people on the planet are asleep, right? But then as things progress throughout existence, you reflect or take another look and you go, wow, the number has increased. It has. Because remember, we affect each of us. We affect everything around us. Always. Okay? There's really all of us, each of us affect everything around us. Our very beingness in that space. And all the molecules and all the energetics around us are immediately affected by how we believe. Everyone is relaxing and shifting into a more trusting, open, receptive, peaceful, caring, and joyful way of being in their communities. Our thoughts are very, very, very powerful. And when we focus them in great numbers in a certain direction, miraculous manifestations begin to occur. Every time. When enough of us are seeing this for our future, it will exponentially spread like a wave throughout the minds and hearts of billions more. And the day will come. We will reach a time when this huge enlightening shift will move through every heart, mind, and soul on our planet, no matter what. And that's what you're experiencing now. Right? Now, through ego mind, it will not appear that way. Okay? What will appear as fear, anxiety, worry, stress, anger, confusion, that's ego mind. Which then creates more of it because that's what you're projecting and affecting all around you. Heart mind's the opposite. It's like you say, wow, we as a people haven't seen really anything yet, and it's just beginning. Period. And we really are all enlightened beings. We just don't know it. It's like I've said many times, the word Buddha is not a being. The word Buddha means enlightened one. The word Christ is not a being. The word Christ is another description of enlightened one. To all of us, you want to get technical, are Buddhas in Christ. We're all enlightened beings. The difference is, most of us don't know that. We don't know that. We have been, we've learned things, like I've said. And those things, to those who taught us, they believed those were the best they had to offer in most cases. So we took that baton and ran with it. And then again, we hand it over to others who take the baton and run with it. And that continues and continues and continues. In a loop, a circle, like the merry-go-round. To expound and propagate concepts is simple. To drop all concepts is difficult and rare as a Gurdana. And what we're doing is fine-tuning ourselves, okay? Slowly but surely, we're picking up bits and pieces of truth that resonate with us. We are given more and more that we actually acknowledge from the universe, where we didn't before. Pieces of information that bring us closer and closer, nearer and nearer to the God that we are in the body. Some of us have daily conversations with ourselves, not in a judgment format, but curiosity. And we do learn eventually, it becomes apparent that the more we start feeling demanding, needy, and lacking something inside, right, ourselves, our bodies become more tense, our vision becomes more cloudy, narrowed, and incapable of perceiving the infinite array of possibilities in this universe. And the more any of us, in so many words, boils down to, we realize that the more we begged for what we want, right, the less likely we would receive our desires, and the more challenging it became to relax and welcome in the happy, loving feelings that we were truly after. And when you observe yourself in this decision-making process, you notice that your body would feel paralyzed, frozen, contracted around certain choices, while in making other decisions, it expanded with joy, as if it found the most liberating gift from this universe. Then you realize that what makes a decision self-empowering all depends on our perspective, how we are approaching our life, our relationship with ourself, and we can see all the many possible outcomes and choices that could be made. And then we realize that decisions are powerful teachers, designed to force us to look inside ourselves so we participate more intimately in who we are inventing ourselves to be. We are nudged into being the creators of our reality, designers of our destiny, constantly invited to paint the masterpiece blossoming inside us on the great blank canvas of our lives. Join in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath, rising, falling. Begin your journey today by breathing consciously. With each inhale and exhale, feel the life living inside you. Breathe and feel the air moving in and out continuously. Notice that it does not stop. Breathe consciously for a few minutes or until you feel something open and expand inside you. Notice what is your experience of life. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Friday, November 7, 2025, to 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. And after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you, in your heart, allow the magic to flow in.